Ooh, what's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. So, we got some breaking news right now. Ryan Garcia is airing out Errol Spence to cornball for suing his trainer, Derek James. Now, I'm going to do a video in the next few days on Errol Spence's lawsuit. They're both suing each other. Errol Spence is suing Derek James for legal fees or something, and Derek James is suing Errol Spence for not paying him his money. Yeah, and just quickly on that topic, Errol Spence, from what I'm reading, is a goofball. Essentially, let me give you a rundown quickly. Essentially, yeah, Errol Spence, you know when these fighters' guaranteed purses comes out? Yeah, so for example, Terence Crawford fight, Errol Spence was guaranteed 2.5 mil. And Derek James is supposed to get 10% of that. So Errol Spence paid him 250k and then kind of sent him on his way. 2-2s. Since then, Derek James has been working with Anthony Joshua and Ryan Garcia. And Ryan Garcia said this a little while ago, that it came out that Ryan Garcia is making a lot less than Errol Spence, but paying Derek James more. Why? Well, we all know Errol Spence did not make 2.5 mil to fight Terence Crawford. He made 25 mil because of the guaranteed money is essentially like the fake money. That's not the pay-per-view money. That's you're definitely getting this. The back-end money really is where the main money comes. The guarantee, especially with the PBC, the guarantee is just waffle. That's for the tax man. Pause. Yeah? Oops for Errol. The IRS can be, I don't know, listen, I just hope Errol's paid his taxes, because that man ain't playing out there. Ask Wesley Snipes. You know, Wesley Snipes, a big Hollywood Donny. Yeah, Blade. The Blade trilogy. Top Donny. Lock his ass up for 7 years for not paying his taxes. So I just hope, yeah, these guys ain't focused on the wrong things. What do they call it? Saving pennies to lose pounds. Or something like that. Pay the man his money. If you made 25 mil and you were contracted to give Derek James 10%, give the man his 10%. Because now look at you. Potentially, the IRS can be sniffing. And if I were Derek James, I'd say, listen man, hey, this guy ain't paid his taxes. Potentially. Yeah? Because if Errol Spence is just declaring to the federal government that, oh, I only got paid 2 mil, my guarantee, which is the numbers he's giving Derek James, and he actually got 25 mil in some moody account somewhere, he in trouble. He in a whole heap of trouble. He a big trouble. The most trouble. There is no lawyer getting you out of that one. There's not one lawyer on earth. Ask Wesley. You best believe it. If there was a lawyer who could get you out of not paying your taxes yet, Wesley, he'd have had that lawyer. Do you understand? So, listen, maybe Errol Spence was just diddling Derek James and not Uncle Sam. Hopefully so, for his sake. So Errol Spence is whack, man. Yeah? You know what you were doing. And it shows Derek James is a good man to some extent, because until he saw the numbers AJ was doing and paying him, and saw the numbers that Ryan Garcia was doing and paying him, he was happy with just taking his 10% of the guarantee. Not happy, but he was, whatever, okay, I trust you. I trust you, my brother, kind of thing. If you tell me you got paid 2.5, I'll take your word for it. Even if it didn't sound right to him. How the fuck? This guy just sold 800k pay-per-views, and you're telling me he only got paid 2 mil? Make that make sense. That makes no sense nowhere. Yeah? $100 pay-per-view, 800k pay-per-view buys, that's 80 million. So what, you're telling me Errol Spence only got the best part of what, 3% or whatever it is? 3 mil out of, yeah, what's that, 3%? You're telling me Errol Spence got paid 3%? Stop. No way. Anyway, so Ryan Garcia has now reacted to that situation and said the following.
Yeah, Spence got beef with my coach. What's good? Come see me. You want to sue him? I want to beat you up.
Yo, facts.
Facts, bro. Do. Knock out Errol. Nice.
I hope that, you know, this fight, Ryan Garcia versus Errol Spence, makes perfect sense. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah? Errol Spence, he fell off. He fell off. And I'm telling you now, in my opinion, at 147, that'll be Errol Spence's ass, I believe. At 154, I think Errol Spence have more beans in him. I think it'd be a problem for Ryan Garcia, because Ryan Garcia is good at offense. Although, listen, I can see Errol Spence wading in, yeah, and that left hook just pinging around the side and doop, and clipping him. But Errol Spence is pretty tight. That's not fair necessarily to say. But at 147, I think Errol, especially after the whooping Crawford has given him, after the whooping Terence Anuaki Crawford has given him, yeah. Who knows? If Ryan Garcia is a massive fight. Ryan Garcia versus Errol Spence, yeah, that's another 7, 8, 900k buys fight there. That's a massive fight for Errol Spence. I mean, I'm trying to think. Errol Spence was trying to fight Tim Tszyu, which wasn't a small fight. Or sorry, he was trying to fight Sebastian Fundora, which is a small fight. That Fundora fight, you'd be lucky to get 200k pay-per-view buys, 250, 300 if you're absolutely laughing. Yeah? So this fight's 2, 3, 4 times bigger than what Errol Spence was looking at. And for that amount of money, I think Errol Spence might even drain himself down to 145. And if I was Ryan Garcia's team, that's what I'd do right now. I'd say, listen, Errol, we'll fight you. There's 1 million pay-per-view buys on the table, but you need to come in 144, 143. And if that happened, he could get smoked. Errol Spence, he'd get smoked by Ryan Garcia. Even at 147. Obviously, the more he drains him down, the more he gonna get smoked for sure. and anything less than 147 going to end up being a Shakespearean tragedy for Errol Spence. That's what you best believe. Above that, at 154, Ryan's a big guy though. He's tall. He's as tall as Errol Spence. But, Garcia has made 135. Errol could never make anything less than 147. So he's a thicker dude. And at 154, I think that would play a role. But we just don't know how shot-worn Errol Spence is. That said, though, even after the whooping by Crawford, Errol Spence is still solid. He's a strong guy. And Ryan Garcia's defense, his offense is decent. But really, when you look at the Haney fight, I ain't going to lie to you, yeah. I actually thought it was close. Because Ryan wasn't active enough. That's the truth. Take the knockdowns out, he lost. For sure. Forget about the point deduction. That was bogus. So forget the point deduction. Take the knockdowns out, he lost the fight. Do you understand? When Ryan was on it, he was good. But Ryan Garcia spent, I had Ryan Garcia win the first round. He didn't do nothing. I had him losing out the next 4 or 5 rounds. Fact. Yeah? He won the first round. He lost the next 4 or 5 rounds. Back to back. Every single one. So, can you do that against Errol Spence? Devin Haney got no power. He's not a pressure fighter. He's a jabber and grabber. That's what's become evident now. Errol Spence, he's all them things. He's as big as Ryan Garcia. As stronger. He's not as quick, but he's stronger. And he can pressure fight. If that's one thing Errol Spence can do, he can pressure fight. That jab going to be in your face and he's going to be winging heavy shots. Now again, I can see a situation where Ryan Garcia can whip that left hook in and trip him. And we'll see how structurally flawed his chops are now that the Anuaki got to him. The Anuaki Crawford got to him. But yeah, 147, it's intriguing. At 154, I think Errol Spence will be too much. He'll be all over Ryan. And them 6 rounds that Ryan Garcia took off in that fight, at least, Errol's going to be all over him. Yeah. If Ryan Garcia can catch him early and is compromised early, that's different. But if Ryan Garcia doesn't catch him early and is in there getting hit and all that stuff he was doing with Devin Haney, like turning his back and that moody shoulder roll, Errol Spence going to be punching through that. And I believe Ryan Garcia is going to feel it. But it's an intriguing fight, especially if Ryan Garcia can get it at 147 or below. And that's what I do right now. Ryan Garcia is in a position where here's the money fight. He can come out and, if I was Ryan Garcia's team, I'll put it out there. End of the day, yeah. The Devin Haney rematch, that'll do 1 million buys. The Tank rematch, that'll do 1 million buys. Tank ain't fighting. Devin Haney might. Errol Spence, that's 1 million buys. So, Ryan Garcia's got options, but still, the prestige of beating Errol Spence at 147 or 145, you might as well at least put the offer out there. Hey, Errol, meet me at 145 and we'll do a catchweight fight. Yeah? A catchweight between 140 and 147. I'll meet you in the middle. At least put it out there. Listen, chances are Errol Spence going to say no. At which point, hey, duck me. You know what I mean? You got the bragging rights. You might as well take them because they're on the table for free. Hey man, I offered to meet Errol Spence, in fact, more than a catchweight. A catchweight in my mind is almost like halfway. So halfway would be 143.5. Well, I'm going to meet you at 145. Oops. And Errol still don't want it. You can't do fairer than that, can you? Yeah? You're at 147, fact. I'm at 140-ish. So let's meet at 145. I'd put it out there. That's what I'd do if I was Ryan Garcia's team. It makes you look good, if nothing else. Now, if Errol Spence takes the bait at 145, you may say, well, now we're in a bit of a bind because we've got to fight Errol. Listen, Errol at 140, oh my God, Errol dying at 147. Errol at 145, he'll be fish food for Ryan Garcia. We're not even sure yet. At 145, I'm not even sure Errol Spence will be able to stand up. That's the truth. Especially after that whooping that he took. Yeah? That whooping from Crawford was a dementia-inducing whooping, for sure. Early onset. That's what Errol Spence got for his future after that Terence Crawford fight. No doubt about it. Anyway, let's see how it plays out. I mean, right, any fight Ryan's in now, they're not going to be corny. Devin Haney, Errol Spence, anyone. They're not going to be corny fights, so I'm not really bothered, but I'll be super intrigued to watch that at anything less than 147. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%, no doubt.